man like Jimmy. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Now we are here and I'm going to provide you guys with 3 beginner tips to improve your outcomes in the competitive mode of Paladins. Now I'm going to make a sweeping assumption here that you've actually completed your placement matches and you've actually ranked in the competitive game mode. Now ladies and gentlemen, these tips are actually aimed at beginners. This is for the guys that have just finished their placement matches and are starting out on their quest to grind their way through the Paladins ranking system. So for you guys that are just starting out, this is for you, but also for you more veteran players out there, it might be a little bit of a reminder of some of the things that you may have taken for granted or you don't find yourself doing. Okay, tip number 1, wherever possible, and I stress wherever possible, pick a character that you are familiar with. Now this comes twofold. The reason why I say that you need to pick a character that you are familiar with is because you're going to be far more effective with a character that you are familiar with in comparison to a character that you haven't played much of. For example, if you have a look at me right here and the win to loss ratio, I have got a lot of wins playing Tyra. Now for me, Tyra I find effective. For some people, Tyra is not the best, but for my playstyle sometimes and the way that I play, I find Tyra very effective, and I've got confidence when picking Tyra. However, there are going to be some situations where you will not be able to pick your said character, and in this situation you need to be able to have a backup or a character that you are familiar with in order to fulfill a specific role. And the reason I say this is because your character can end up getting banned, or you can find yourself having last pick. And in this situation, you may be missing, I don't know, a front line or a support, and you need to fulfill those roles. So, like I said before, wherever possible, try to pick a character that you are familiar with. If not, then you need to be able to pick a character to fulfill a specific role that is missing. Tip number 2. Familiarize yourself with each map, and there is one clear defining reason for this. Survivability. Your ability to survive in a competitive match of Paladins should be increasing with each passing match, and by doing this you'll find that your team's potential to win will start to increase also. And the reason for this is because you will have less downtime looking at a respawn timer and more uptime capturing a payload, giving enemy callouts, repositioning yourself and putting damage into the enemy team. Now, familiarizing yourself will give you a little bit of an advantage over players that are not familiar with the maps. For example, it will allow you to get in and out of cover pretty quickly, to expect enemy flanks, or to expect DPS characters to appear or place themselves, and it also gives you the advantage of knowing where to place yourself to do optimal damage per second, or to give a call out to where you can maneuver or help your team to rotate to. So familiarizing yourself with each map has its many advantages, but the main one is survivability. You want less downtime and more uptime. Tip number 3, choose your engagements wisely, and I say that with a subheading, patience. Now, choosing your engagements wisely will allow you to get into and out of situations which are more favorable for your survivability and your ability to come out on top in a gunfight. Now, the reason why I say there's a subheading patience is because you have to have the patience to scan your area, take in the information that's been relayed to you by the enemy team's movements, their damage per second on certain characters, and where your teammates are in relation to you on the map. Now, an example of this is if you see a player that's overextending or going for a flank and you think to yourself, you know what, he's going to be isolated, I'm going to go and challenge him 1v1 and hopefully I can take him out. Now, there's nothing wrong in that strategy, it's actually a good strategy, but if you do not take in the information around you, i.e. has he got a teammate following him, is he in a position where he can get back into cover quickly, am I going to be overexposing myself to the rest of the team by trying to challenge this player that's overextended, you could come out as the loser. So by choosing your engagements wisely, patiently scanning the area for information on how you can maneuver, reposition, put damage onto a character, support your teammates, will allow you to A, survive a little bit longer, and B, be more of a nuisance to the enemy team than if you were just looking at a respawn timer and spawning back at your base. Now, there are 3 tips that I've provided to you guys that should help you improve your overall gameplay. This is not an extensive list. There are a whole host of other things that you guys can do to help improve your gameplay. Just playing the game will help improve your gameplay, but knowing how to play and being conscious of what you are doing will definitely help to accelerate that process of you being better at Paladins. Now, we have arrived at the end of another video. I hope this has been useful to you guys, and as always, if you did enjoy this content, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Peace.